Hey, alrighty. Hello and welcome everyone. Good evening. How are we all doing this evening? Awake? Long day? Cool. Well, thank you very lovely. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, good evening, good evening. All right. Wonderful to see you guys. To those of you who I have seen before, hello, welcome back to my space. Um, awesome. Okay, so hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Darren, and I'm going to be your lecturer for this module. And tonight really is all about orienting everyone to the module. Do want to quickly pop over to Arc to make sure that everyone's on the same base. Then I can also have that as a platform for anyone to raise any concerns over Arc. Like if there are any errors or issues that you come into contact with, that should be a good time to tell me. And then I can go and do all the flagging. Yeah, and then we'll do a little bit of a kind of like important concept discussion around lifespan and development, and then do a little bit of an activity. And that's basically what we have planned for this evening. So yeah, if everyone's happy and settled, I'm gonna pop over to Arc to start that. Righty. Okay, cool. So when you guys open up Arc and go over to our page, it looks like this. Yeah, let me just start off quickly. Is everyone got access to Arc? Everything working well? I see there has been some engagement so far with activities and the ice tasks well, the first ice task as well. Is anyone having any issues you'd like to report at this point? Okay, cool. Something else I also want to check is have you been receiving the email notifications when I've been posting announcements? That is something else that I want to check as well. Yes, 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 good to hear. Okay, lovely. Look, and also just for the benefit of the recording for those who aren't here, um, and maybe if you don't, if you find yourself not receiving emails for like a different module, sometimes it's just because of the notification settings on your profile. Yeah, I noticed this with one of my other modules that some people's profiles didn't have the notification settings correctly for that. Okay, so the way that you fix it is very quick. You just click on your name up here at the top and then to notifications, scroll down and make sure that these boxes are ticked. So you get announcements that are updated and new announcements that are available. Okay, so yeah, if you ever find yourself like not getting communication from like weekly communication, come and have a look, make sure nothing's gone wonky here. Awesome. Right, and then in terms of important things to take note of, mostly in the more module information section, I can see that quite a lot of you have navigated through this. So yeah, those who haven't had a chance yet, just head on through and make sure you go through, yeah, all of this important information. But I do just want to draw your attention to, firstly, so here's my YouTube channel link. On here, you'll find a playlist that's got all of the full recordings from the last time I taught this module online, which was last year. And so, yeah, you can probably, you can skip through them, see what the collabs were like last year, and some content that'll be up there. This year, because we're putting a much larger emphasis on engagement and discussion in these sessions, there'll be less lecturing. So me just kind of going through slides and covering content in that way. Um, yeah, we are as an online space heading more towards that collaborative engagement space in these sessions. And so that's the way I'm going to gear them. But there is this content there. Yeah, again, you're welcome to go and have a look where it was a bit more lecture-y last year. So that's all up there. And I think what I will be doing as we progress, I'll cut bits of those videos together and then maybe make a few new ones just on, key content bits as we go along. And then I will upload them for you as well. Cool. Everything else is generic. Okay. And then here, this is important. So please come and have a look at the AI situation. It's really hasn't changed from anything last year or really anything different that anyone else is doing. The main thing to remember is that you can use tools that are to help you with things like grammar and editing, and spelling errors and, like improving your writing, to give you tips and things like that. But the main thing is that you must disclose your use of that tool when you hand in your assignment, and then you must be able to, if called upon, provide a version history of your document that you used to make your assignments, and then like show the like prompt sheets of the tool that you used if necessary. But yeah, shouldn't really be necessary, obviously, if you don't use it irresponsibly. And so basically, you may not use something for any of these assignments, particularly because they require you to do writing and make arguments that generates answers for you. So that's just not the correct way to be using these tools. Rather use them, as kind of a sounding board, maybe to check your knowledge. That kind of thing is perfectly fine. But as soon as it is generating any kind of answer or text, then that's dangerous territory. Righty. So that's just, again, just to make sure that everyone's on the same page, and that is here for reference if you need it. Okay, I've also put a link here to the APA 7th style website. It's called apastyle.com, I think, or .org. But there's a link here. You can navigate there. They've got every guide that you could possibly think of with examples and things. So it's all there. And then I also just have this little Wakelet page that's got other information around APA, just some videos to show you things about in-text referencing. And some other little documents as well. So really all resources you may need for referencing are right here. And also must use APA 7th for this module because it is a psychology module. Okay, so that's for all assignments, graded assignments. Okay, are we all on the same page so far? Righty. All right, the next thing is the module pacer. So quite important for you to have a look at. Just going to put it into full screen. So you'll be able to keep track of this as we move through the module. As time progresses, there's the dates of all of our live sessions here. I mean, they are every 2 weeks, unless there's a public holiday or something. But all the dates are here. And then I will highlight due dates in this column mostly, or any other reminders that may be necessary. While we are on the topic, the PAS is available, and so you have your due dates. The first assignment is due on the 22nd of April. You do have quite a bit of time before that first assignment needs to come in. And then the second one is on the 20th of May. Okay, so roughly a month later. Okay, we are waiting on a confirmation date for all ICE tasks to be due and the exams, but it will be around mid-May, ICE tasks. So please do make sure that you are completing them as we go along. All of them will be released by the end of the week. Okay, so far just the first one is up. All right, question. Where can I find the PAS? Okay, cool. Good question. I can show you that in a minute. It's not on ARC, it's on your student hub. Just check that screen quickly. Sorry, moments of comedy. My cat is destroying things in the background. Okay. So this is where you will find the PAS on the student portal, and then if you scroll down here and click on humanities, and then you go to the degree that you're doing, so Bachelor of Arts, distance, 2025, and then it's under here. So has so many folders, term 1, and then it'll be year 2, and it's all up in here, and you can download that. Yeah, okay, so that brings me to my next point as well, is you guys are getting new assignments this year. They're revamping them, and those documents aren't available yet. I've been told that they will be released in early March, in which case that's when I will do all of the debriefing. But they will be available, yes, under student materials on the student portal where the module outline is, where they usually are. And I'll send an announcement when they're available, and just to remind you all as well. And so that's also a slight difference online this year. What we're doing, instead of doing those big national support sessions for the assignments, we are going to be recording a video that will essentially be the same thing. But yeah, going over the important parts of the assignments, breaking down what is expected, how it will be graded, important things to remember, and then uploading that soon after those brief documents will be available. So you'll have that early. And then closer to the time, I will have a Q&A session, or a segment of our session will be a Q&A on the assignment brief. So essentially you'll have all of the, broken down information and instructions early on. And then closer to the time, like that's what's in blue in the pacer. Sorry, I've just made it small again, but you can open that. And then you'll see that session is when we will do a Q&A on the assignments. All right, so yeah, that's just how that is going to be working. And again, I will communicate all of this with you as we go along through the announcements. Okay, I think just the last thing is, ICE tasks. So you'll find that at the bottom of the learning units here. Click there, and so far just the first ICE task is available. I can see that quite a handful of you have done it already, which is lovely. And yeah, I will be finalizing and uploading the other ICE tasks by the end of the week. So they'll be there. Okay. Right. Are there any questions on any of this kind of housekeeping type stuff while we're here?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Hi, Darren. Sorry. I would just like to ask, how do we submit like the assignments and that on ARC?
Yeah, okay, cool. Good question, because that's slightly different this year. So you should be able to see these folders in the meanwhile. But so that usual time frame before an assignment is due, this screen will become available. And then there will be a submission link here. And then I think Jess EdTech is in the process of making how-to guides and videos guiding you through that hand-in process that we'll be sharing quite soon. So yeah, but this is where it will pop up, pretty much how it used to be on Learn, and it will appear usually about a week to 10 days before the assignment is due, so that you can submit through there.
Thank you. It clears up a lot.
Sure. Yeah. Don't stress though. Yeah, all of those like guides and things and training. There's training being offered throughout the term, I believe, as well. There's some sessions that are going around. Yeah. Okay, cool. Any other questions?
Thanks.
Chat. Slides for each learning unit. When I first looked on ARC, but I can't find any slides. I have not uploaded slides on ARC. Perhaps you were looking, like, do you mean this content that's here? Yeah, it must be, yeah, I haven't uploaded any slides yet. I tend not to until the session is done, and then I pop them up. It'll be under the learning unit. I'll make another little page here that's slides for this unit, just so that they're a little bit more gathered than under each theme, it becomes a bit tiresome having to find them all in bits and pieces. And then also once we have surpassed this learning unit, I will upload some answers to these, well, suggested answers to the revision questions that are in each learning unit as well, by the way. And then I'll notify you when those are available so that you can kind of just check to see how you're going, knowledge check wise, as you're moving through this content. Okay. Checking any other questions? Okay, none so far. Cool. Always remember you can always just email me with any questions and I'll get back to you within 48 hours at the maximum. Always try. Yeah, that's the turnaround time. Okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to give a brief overview in terms of what we're going to be covering. Obviously, I'm not going to go into extraordinarily depth. That's, up for you guys to have a look through the module outline in depth when you have time. But yeah, just a brief overview to see how we're moving through the way that developments, the way it's laid out and the way that it is for this module. So the first learning unit, what we're tackling at the moment, is really the basics of understanding what lifespan development is, what lifespan means, and we'll discuss that in a moment. The next learning unit is always quite interesting, and it's a little bit, technical because it's about biologically based, elements like genes, gene environments, interactions, and such things. So yeah, then our next session will deal with that. And it's a really nice meaty chunk to get into and activities around that as well. So yeah, we get the biology type things, the next learning units, and then from here you'll see we're kind of moving through the lifespan. Yeah, so learning unit 3, prenatal development and birth. And then learning unit 4 is all around body, brain, and health development at those stages. The next one is cognition, so all about the basic cognitive theories. So we'll be tackling, classic theories like Piaget and Vygotsky. You will very likely be getting a comparison question, if not in your assessments in the exam. That's just like I'll tell you that for free. That's a favorite. So yeah, whenever you come across those kind of big theories, very likely that's always a favorite question is that comparison. But yeah, we'll get there when we get there. Okay, learning unit 6 is also attached to that, so social cognition and moral development. So we'll be looking here at Kohlberg, especially around the moral development and other theorists that are similar to that. Okay, 7, moving into social relationships, emotions, and attachments. So big names that will come around here are going to be Erickson and Bowlby with the attachments. And then ending off the last units, always interesting, dipping our toes into developmental psychopathology. So we'll get the basics on some of the more, common disorders that arise because of and during developmental stages. Yeah, so I mean, just obviously a very brief overview. That is basically our journey throughout this module. And yeah, covers really all of the lovely basics of developmental psychology. Okay. Right, so what I did want to start off with really this evening is making sure that everyone understands the concept of lifespan development. So that is really a theory in itself. And then what it means essentially is that we take the whole lifespan from birth until death into account, and we acknowledge that we keep developing throughout that time. There's no endpoint. You don't just all of a sudden turn 37 and stop developing. You do continue to develop as life continues. So yeah, a lifelong process, and you are continually building on what you have previously learned in all spheres as we go along. And we will see now, learning the basics, how different theorists have contributed to that idea as time goes on. And some of these theorists, didn't necessarily completely adhere to the full lifespan approach. An example, just as an example, is Piaget. if you guys have encountered him before or just know by knowledge, we will get there. He has 4 stages, and the last kind of stage is from 12 years and then onwards. There's no more stages after that. So it has been a criticism from the lifespan school of thought on development. But anyway, we will get to that discussion and debate as well when we tackle those theories. Yeah, so have you guys encountered, the most kind of household name when it comes to lifespan is probably Erik Erikson. Have you encountered that theory before? If you just want to maybe do a reactor in the chat so that I know. Yes, probably, yeah. I imagine he's touched on in first year, probably a bit in that introduction to psychology module. Lovely. Okay, so we will be going more in depth into him and all of his stages and what happens at each stage and the critical skills that need to be overcome, things like that, and how that ties in to these 3 focal points theoretically. And you'll see as we move through each learning unit, these perspectives are covered within developmental psychology. So how do we develop physically? How do we develop cognitively? How is our brain developing? And then also how are thought processes formed and developed? Those are cognitive theories. And then psychosocially. So that's a theory like Erikson. How are we interacting with each other and how is that contributing to our development, basically? Yeah, so if we had to say, where is everyone sitting at the moment in your lifespan? Where would you say? We can pretty much rule out the first 3 bits. I imagine everyone is sitting around early to probably middle adulthood. I'm not sure. Yes. Awesome. Great. So when we get to that stage, yeah, hopefully things will be very relatable and as we learn and as you grow. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about lifespan at this point? Is anything perhaps a bit foggy? What do we mean by lifespan? Does everyone have a handle on that? If there are any questions, I would love to address them now. Think we all good? Great. All good. Love to hear it. Okay, so what you will see, particularly, and I hope you have done this reading so far, this just elementary reading from last week and yeah, beginning of this week on these major issues that happen in human development. And you will see there are these 4 issues really, or debates that are contended with in developmental psychology and human development in general. I mean, multidisciplinary wise, but we are obviously focusing on psychology with these issues. And essentially, what I really want to get our heads around with this activity in particular is that each theory or school of thought, in this case, whether it be psychoanalytic theories, so, people like Freud and Jung with their developmental outlook, cognitive theories, so like Piaget and Vygotsky, and then bioecological systems theory, which you guys, I'm sure, have encountered. That would be Bronfenbrenner. So how all of our levels of the ecosystem and social ecosystem impact us as an individual in the middle, systemically, how these view these issues differently and perhaps take a different side to these issues. Yeah, so I would really love to have, I'm going to pop you guys into breakout rooms so that you can have a discussion around this and maybe come up with some answers for me, and we have a little discussion when we group back together. And I'm going to give you enough time so that you can obviously whip out your textbook and get some information as necessary and discuss it with each other. How many of us are here? It's 15 including me. Yeah, okay, so 14. Okay, yeah, I can do 4 groups, and each will take an issue. Right. Give me one moment while I just sort that out. Are there any questions or issues just in the meanwhile? You can pop into the chat while I sort out these groups. Also, perhaps as a precaution, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to share the screen within the group. Yeah, I haven't done this on Teams a lot, so maybe just snap a screenshot or a picture of this slide. Okay, cool. So if everyone is ready, I'm gonna open the rooms, and then I should be able to just pop into the rooms quickly to give you a topic. Yeah. Okay, if you're unable to unmute, then yeah, I mean, you'll have to use the chat. There will be an individual chat per room. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go and open that now. I will give you guys, let's say, 15 minutes. It should be enough time, especially if some of you have to be typing, so that you can get this going. Okay. Hi, Liam. Did you get kicked out of a breakout room?
Hi, Darren.
Hi.
Sorry, what did you say?
Did you just join the whole meeting or were you in a breakout room?
No, I actually just joined now. I just got home from work now. Is the
Okay,
meeting
okay.
over?
No, no. So I've literally just opened some breakout rooms. There's just a little discussion going on.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll put you into one that's got less people in it. Yeah, and then I'll pop you in there, and then just ask them to give you the topic that they're discussing.
Okay, thank you so much.
Sure. Okay.
Hi, Darren. Lamise
Hi,
just
Aiden. Is there
said,
an issue?
yes, issue with my connection. It's load shedding, unfortunately. Um, and
Okay.
Lamise told me to tell you that she's also in load shedding, so she will watch the recording.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's all right.
Okay.
Sure.
Where do I go to now? Sorry, I cut out there for a second.
Where were you? Which room were you in?
My Wi-Fi went off, so I had to use my phone data now. So,
No, I mean, which room? So did you get assigned to a room before it cut out?
no, I was not.
Oh, okay, cool. I'll just assign you to a room quickly and you can just join their discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Sorry, it's not letting me assign you for some strange reason. I think it's just let me check the setting quickly. Then you can't access breakout rooms. That's weird.
It's okay. I'll just wait until everybody comes back.
Is it? Are you logged into your Varsity College team?
No, this is actually my personal Teams.
Yeah, that's probably why it's not working. Are you able to log into your Varsity College one?
I will try for you quickly.
Yeah, if you can, but otherwise, yeah.
Okay, I just have to leave this meeting in
Yes,
this
yeah.
account. Okay. Okay then. Bye-bye.
Cool. Bye. Hi, Zildjian. Did you get kicked out of the room for some reason? Oh, you're back. Okay.
So
And we're back. So sorry if everyone was mid-sentence. Oh, everyone's rejoining. Hey, how is that? Did you guys manage to have a bit of a discussion? It's always a bit of a time crunch situation. Lovely. Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes. So can I maybe hear from someone from one of the groups? Give me some feedback. What were the sort of like main points that you discovered? Anyone wants to volunteer? Yeah, Meatlet, go for it. You're on mute, so you'll just have to unmute quickly.
sorry, I had to unmute my mic. But what we essentially discussed was the difference between we were discussing universal versus context specific development. So what we got from the discussion is two theories being that development is a universal experience that regardless of culture, regardless of environmental factors, each person is going to essentially hit certain milestones in their life versus context, which is very much context driven, where environmental factors and social factors do play a role in the development of a person. So that is what we discussed.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely. Well done. And thank you for sharing. It's always good to hear from you guys, and I like that the discussions were profitable, fruitful. And I was also just thinking while you're in there, because I thought, maybe possibly you could have experienced some issues, didn't have enough time. So what I did quickly, and just, because we don't have too much time to really share everything like I would have liked to. Just gonna share my screen really quickly. So you guys will see on ARC, what I just did real quick was under Learning Unit 1. So if you expand that, and then scroll all the way down to where this lecture resources panel is, and I made a little discussion forum for lecture 1 activity. Yeah, so obviously just continuing on, from this discussion. So I thought it would be really great if, at least one of you from your team can just post a little summary. It doesn't have to be very formal or referenced or anything, just kind of a summary of what you discussed and like the main points, and then, everyone can engage with that and have a look at all the different topics. So I'm in lecture review, but when you open it, you'll see there'll be a button that says, I think it's start thread or add a new thread or something. And so just, make a thread for each topic, and then we can kind of discuss under the sections. With 1 minute to go of our lecture time, I hope everyone's had a good time. Obviously, we had to get through, a bunch of housekeeping and things at the beginning. So we'll have more time to break down content and discuss and do other different types of activities in our upcoming sessions. But does anyone have any questions or anything you'd like to raise as we close off? Good. Well, if there's nothing, or if there's something that you want to raise with me personally, you're very welcome to email me as well. Yeah, and just thank guys. It's been a really good session. I will upload the recording. I'll just cut out the blank space from when you're in your breakout rooms, and then I will upload it on Arc. But I think you guys should also be able to access it via this chat. So if you go through your calendar, just in the future, but I'll upload it for you anyway. And yeah, thank you so much and have a lovely time until I see you again. And do keep an eye out for announcements. Bye.
Thank you, Darren. Bye.
Oh.